Hey guys. No. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Hey guys, welcome to the Awkward Couple Show.
Hey guys. This is the Awkward Couple Show. And today we're talking about Disney princesses. Shocking.
Shocking.
Because everybody else is talking about that. Today we are, what would you call it, like rating them?
I think we
ranked the Disney princesses. And so the idea came from what is it called?
Screen Junkies.
The Screen Junkies did a video where they had like a panel of 3 people, and they made this like survey of all the Disney princesses, and then they had 7 categories, and then they took the individual scores and averaged them together. So they had like they had like just one ranking, but we did it separate.
Yeah.
Just like, so Sean did one, and then
we each did our own like survey kind of thing.
Yeah. And we found some pretty interesting
facts.
So the categories were royal lineage, quality of sidekick, independence, singing/theme song, intelligence, relatability, and talent. And my highest one was Pocahontas. A lot of mine came really close, and then
the first thing I noticed about looking at your list, you gave a lot of people 10s, where I was a big stickler for 10s. I think I only gave out 1.
You did. I gave out a lot. Well, okay, because like for royal lineage, so what I did was, if they were a princess, like Merida, like her dad was a king. So for a royal lineage, I just went ahead and gave her a 10. If they married a prince, I gave them a 5 because they like married into a royal family. And if they weren't, I just gave them a 0. I tried to make it easy on myself.
See, I did it completely differently because I think I was just kind of random on the royal lineage thing. If they were a princess or something, I'd be like, I'd like rate how actual royal they were.
I think you tried to make it more, like you put more thought in, like as far as like the actual like where they were.
Yeah, because like for like say Jasmine, she's like the daughter of a sultan.
Yeah. So
she's like a 9. She's very, very royal. Like that's a big thing. But someone like Pocahontas, who's just the daughter of a chief, and it's not like a giant king thing. I mean, it's like a big leader, but it's not like a king or a queen. Like she just got a 7.
Well, see, I gave like Pocahontas a 10. Just because, I just tried to either say like yes or no.
Yeah.
And then the 5s were in the middle.
I know what you tried to do. And like 2 more things like for me is like 2 of these movies like I haven't even seen.
Yeah. So
Rapunzel and Tiana. Rapunzel, I'd like kind of like asked you like what was going on with the movie, and
Tiana
I kind of did my own thing.
The Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, Tiana, I've never seen the movie, and I didn't know really anything about it. I was just like, just give her all 5s. This would be the most neutral thing ever.
And then my lowest one was Sleeping Beauty. What was your lowest one?
I think it was also Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Which is funny because not funny, but the older, like the more original Disney princesses, they all scored the lowest.
Like the Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. Snow White.
Snow White was my second lowest.
Snow White and Cinderella scored a little higher than the Sleeping Beauty, but... Do
you want to go through these scores, like these princesses individually, and give them the scores?
We can.
Like what we got?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Cinderella first. We both said that Cinderella didn't really score particularly high. It's because, like, she married into royal lineage, and to be honest with you, I don't remember much of that movie anyways, and usually if I can't remember a movie, that means it wasn't that memorable and that they weren't that good.
That's not true.
What do you mean?
That doesn't mean it's not necessarily memorable. You can't generalize that for everyone.
She wasn't a memorable character.
Yeah, but for
I've only seen Pocahontas a few times, and I still remember that character.
I know, but for little girls...
I know, that's another thing.
That's another thing
that I was struggling, because, like, with relatable... No one scored over a 6.
For a boy, yeah. See, I gave out a couple of... Well, nobody got a 10, but I gave out a lot.
Nines.
I got a lot of 9s on relatable. Like Sleeping Beauty got a 2 for relatability. For me.
So Cinderella, her final score for me was a 30, and her best score, like her best category for me was her singing and theme of song.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
My
Kinda
score.
think alike.
Well, my score was actually a 31, but
So you're pretty close on that one.
My highest one was a 7 for the singing and theme song.
All right, moving on from Cinderella. Next we got Mulan. Mulan was my highest scoring princess, which was kind of shocking. But actually not really, because I really actually liked Mulan as a kid. I liked all the songs in Mulan and stuff, and I thought it was really cool. But also she's not from like a royal family, but her family was still a prominent family, so I gave her a little bit higher score than Cinderella.
Mulan wasn't really a girly girl either.
No. And her best score for me was the singing and songs again.
I gave Mulan a few 10s.
You did.
I gave her 3 10s.
Quality of Sidekick got a 10 from you, and Independence got a 10 from you.
And singing.
And singing. See, I just gave her a 9 for the singing. But I didn't, like I said, I only gave out 1 10 in the entire thing.
But tell them what you gave Mulan for talent.
I gave her an 8.
What'd you give her originally?
A 7? What?
She saved China, and he only gave her a 7.
She still would have been my top Disney princess.
Doesn't matter. That was just rude. I only did not give her a 10, I think, because, like, in the beginning, she was just struggling so hard with learning the stuff for the matchmaking.
Yeah, but hers wasn't, natural talent, is what I'm thinking. Like, she wasn't natural talent. She just, was a lot of hard work and, dedication.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she was talented, but not,
Yeah.
She's not, born with it, you know?
Maybe.
That was the whole thing of the story, too, is, she was a girl. She's not born a man to be able to fight in the war, so she had to, prove herself.
Yeah.
It wasn't, natural born talent that she had. And then, so Mulan was my highest scoring princess, but she only got a 48, which would have been, one of Emily's lower scores.
Yeah.
She just was very generous with the numbers.
Yeah. It just shows how we think.
After Mulan is both of our lowest scoring princess is
Aurora.
Sleeping Beauty. Is that her name?
Aurora. Mm-hmm.
See, I don't remember that movie.
I think that's a pretty name.
I don't remember that movie that much either. But see, I definitely thought Sleeping Beauty was Snow White when we first initially did this list. And when we got to the sidekicks thing, I was like, 7 dwarves, and you were like, wait a minute, that's Snow White.
That's the wrong one.
But then I was like, who is Sleeping Beauty's sidekick?
She doesn't really have... I mean, I guess the fairies, but...
What was your best score? Sleeping Beauty got an 8 for Royal Lineage for me, because she was...
Yeah. I gave her a 10 for Royal Lineage.
That was the only thing from keeping her from, utter devastation on my list.
Well, see, also... When you say Royal Lineage, I feel like I just want to keep fighting you. Because they're a princess, so you would have to rate them on how far on the princess scale are they. So see, if you did it your way, a 10 would be like a king.
Yeah, but an 8 would be like a princess.
No.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Okay, never mind.
I just went based off what their family is from, how
I know
how strong their family is.
No, I was making it more difficult.
It's all right. Her other scores were 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 2 for me.
I gave her some zeros.
Dang, babe! I thought this was from 1 to 10. Yeah.
Well, 0 is a number. I gave her a 0 in quality of sidekick and independence.
Dang.
And I gave her 1s on some.
What did you do for her singing? 7?
7.
I only gave her a 1 for her singing.
I like that song. The music. I
don't remember any music.
It has the I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream.
Is that Sleeping Beauty?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I actually like that song.
and then Lana Del Rey redid it for Maleficent. I really like Maleficent.
I saw Maleficent.
That's kind of a
All right, moving on. After Sleeping Beauty, we have Belle. Recent Beauty and the Beast remake live action was really good.
That was really good. That's what kind of obviously brought all this on.
Yeah.
Belle's a hot topic right now.
And she was, I mean, for me, like, obviously she's not really royal, but her top score for me is intelligence, because she is kind of a bookworm.
Me too.
So she does know a lot of things, and she was actually tied for second. It was a 3-way tie for second for my top Disney princess, and she was one of them that was tied there. Anything else you got to say about Belle?
Not really. I mean, that was pretty.
I find like these relatable scores. It's so hard for me to relate to this.
I think. Well, for me, I tried to like. There's just like a piece of each one that's relatable, but then again, I think it also does bring in that whole boy girl thing. Like for me as a girl, it is more easier to relate to these girls. Women,
yeah, I know what you're saying. All right.
Like for Belle, but even like for Belle though, like just living in a place where you feel like you don't fit in and wanting something different out of life, and
yeah, that's why she didn't get a 0.
Yeah,
she got 6. All right,
Ariel was my second. She came in second.
And Ariel's your favorite Disney princess.
Yeah,
if we were doing it like blind with no scores involved, Ariel would be your favorite Disney princess.
But see, I just want to point out also that Ariel has always been my favorite. Like, even before everybody thought mermaids were cool, she was.
Well, I mean, you have mermaid scales tattooed on your leg.
Yeah, I know, but it's like now that mermaids are like the thing, everybody thinks I'm just on the bandwagon. I'm like, no, You've
always loved mermaids.
It's always been that way.
Ariel was one of the ones that tied with Belle for second.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had Belle, Ariel, and we'll get to the third one that tied a little later. There was five people that scored like all within 1 point of each other. And then after that, it was a little bit of a drop off. But Ariel, like the thing that scored the highest for me, which is actually kind of ironic looking back on it, was her royal lineage and her talent tied with an 8.
That is ironic.
Because like the whole point of the movie is that she gets her talent taken away, but initially she is very, very talented.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing, that Ursula wants her voice because she's just.
But one interesting thing, like when I watched that Screen Junkies video, was one of the guys that was on the panel. He said she literally wrote her name, like signed her name on the contract with Ursula, and then when she was on the beach, she was like, grappling for a way to communicate. He was like, why didn't she just write in the sand?
But that's not talent. That would be intelligence, which she only got a 5 from me.
I know, but I just thought that was a funny, like I never thought about that until he pointed it out. So. All
right. After Ariel, we have Jasmine.
Yeah, Jasmine scored kind of low for me too.
Yep, me too.
But I think the biggest fault for her is
she's not really the main character.
Yeah.
Aladdin's the main character of that movie, so.
That really didn't
I mean, she's got a good royal lineage, though.
Yeah.
That's about all she had.
But she's not, like, completely lame.
No, she's not completely lame, but, I mean, she just, she isn't the main character, so it's kind of hard for...
She's not as noteworthy compared to everyone else.
Yeah. So, let's spend the least amount of time on her. Pocahontas.
Pocahontas, man. She's a beast.
See, I thought Pocahontas was going to end up being my favorite, because I remember being, Pocahontas being my favorite.
Or your top rank.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember Pocahontas being one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid.
Yeah. As
far as, like, the Disney princesses go. Because I liked the Native American thing.
Yeah. Pocahontas got 9s. She didn't get anything below 8, and she got an 8. Why? I gave her an 8 for Independence.
Pocahontas was your number 1, wasn't she?
Yeah, but I don't know why I gave her an 8 for Independence. I feel like I should.
She's very independent.
I know. I feel like I should.
It's like one of her best qualities. In fact, like that's one of the ones she's got that scored the highest for me.
Yeah.
So she was tied for 3rd with one other person for me.
Really?
Yeah. So she's
Pocahontas?
Yeah.
What was your first one?
Mulan.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
It went Mulan, and then I had 3 people tied for second, and then 2 people tied for third.
Oh. Yeah. Like I said, she was my top one.
See, I think the thing that really hurt her on my list was her quality of sidekick.
Okay.
Because I had to ask you who her sidekick was, and that's not really a good thing if I have to ask you. Like someone like Mulan,
I gave pretty high for that.
You know who their sidekick is.
Yeah.
But after Pocahontas, we have Merida, which is one of the newer Disney princesses.
Yeah, I really like Merida a lot.
Merida tied with Pocahontas for my third. And I think she was the only one that got a 10 in any category for me. It was Independence, because like her whole, the whole movie was about, was being independent and doing your own thing and not being,
Yeah, not confining to what her mother wanted.
Exactly.
I gave her a 5 for sidekick because of the horse, I think.
I gave her a 4 for sidekick.
So, yeah, and then she also, for theme song. But that's just because that's not really a musical, I don't think.
No, but it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And she scored pretty decently on my scale.
But I did give her a 10 for talent.
I gave her a 9.
Yeah.
Because I was a stickler. I am literally the Russian judge of this.
You really are. You were a lot harder than I was. All right, Rapunzel.
So this one's difficult for me because I've never seen the movie.
I've only seen it once, and I haven't even really watched it all the way through.
So this is kind of hard for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of defaulted to you about what I should.
There are some memorable things, like the one song about the lights or whatever is really good.
I never heard it.
And then I gave her talent 8 just because of the frying pan thing. Like when she smacks him with the frying pan in the face. That's pretty funny. I mean, that's pretty smart too. I think. Alright, so and then the next one is Snow White.
Snow White wasn't a high scorer for me.
No, she was
second to last for me.
Yeah, me too. She got 32.
It's kind of funny that the two Disney princesses known for sleeping a lot were the bottom scoring and the most damsel in distress kind of.
I think it's so funny how you can you know what we should have done?
What?
We should have put these in chronological order from when they came out.
Yeah.
Because you could really see how especially the views of society and then the views of just women in particular have changed, what we look up to and what we think is relatable and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really like Snow White at the movie when I was a kid anyways, so
I think that one is definitely a fluff, with true love and then the dwarves are comedic relief.
Yeah.
So
all right, moving on from Snow White, we get to another newer Disney princess, Elsa.
And
I think that if people would take this, if young kids would take this survey now, that Elsa would probably be the top Disney princess by far. And she actually scored pretty high even on my list. I've only seen the movie once. And I saw it pretty recently. I was very slow on the Frozen train.
That is funny that you say that about the age thing too, because when I talked to my mom about it, she was probably Snow White and Cinderella, and then both of our top ones were princess
movies that came out during
when we were growing up.
So mine was Mulan and yours was Pocahontas, which came out both when we were young.
And so if we let your cousin Aaron or somebody do this, it would. That is so cool. We should do that.
Yeah, we should.
We could turn this into a whole psychological case study.
Oh, I was wrong. I thought I only gave out 1 10 throughout the entire thing, but I actually gave out 2. Elsa also got a 10 for royal lineage because she's literally a queen.
Yeah. She got 3 10s from me for royal lineage, theme song, and talent.
I only gave her 8 on the song. The song's good, but it gets annoying. So,
but it's
Independence.
Still good.
I gave her a 9 because she literally strikes out and starts her own castle. And is literally alone pretty much her entire life because of her powers. So I like Elsa too. She was pretty cool. But like you were saying earlier when we were taking the thing, like why don't they have Anna on this list?
Yeah.
Because Anna's more of the main character in that movie anyways.
And she's the technical princess.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Everyone likes Elsa more because she's got magical powers.
I did Elsa because I just stuck with the ones that they did. And then the last one is I think it's Tiana.
I've never seen this movie either, Princess and the Frog.
I
literally just gave her 5s on everything.
That's another one that I've seen, like, bits and pieces of, and it's just like I've seen the whole thing that way. I haven't watched. We should watch it, though, because the music is really good.
I think I've seen parts of it. This is the one I'm thinking about. It's like
It's set in, like, the 40s in, like, Louisiana.
Yeah, New Orleans.
So the music is really good.
How is she a princess, then? It's
Princess and the Frog. So she marries the prince at the end.
What prince, though?
I don't know.
Prince of what?
He's like, he's from like
Prince
another
of New
country.
Orleans?
No, he's from another country.
Okay.
Doof. But I did give her a 10 for... I did give her a 10 for independence because she's like saving up to start her own restaurant and stuff. And
see, I don't know any of that because I never saw the movie. So I
think if you saw it, you would change your mind because she's pretty cool.
Maybe I'll go back to this list and change some things if I saw it, but probably not.
I gave her pretty high scores.
So what do you think about this? Did you like doing this?
Yeah.
Did you like talking about it for 20 minutes?
Yeah. I like the Disney princesses.
I actually kind of like the Disney movies too. So
I think there's a lot that you can pull from it, like positive and negative. There's so many different ways you can pull from these stories. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for joining us for the Awkward Couple Show. Again, I'm Sean.
I'm Emily.
And we're gonna try to get back on this 1 week or one podcast a week thing.
Keyword try.
Try.
Share
no promises.
Share it with your friends.
No promises. All right.
Please comment something. Just say anything.
Bye.